You think you know every Drag Race queen until you realize some of your favorites are literally family, drag family. The gag is, it's not really obvious. Different seasons, different brands, different vibes, yet they're connected by one mentor, one house, or one late-night gig that changed everything. Today we're breaking down the relationships that make viewers rewind. Bob and Miz Cracker, Alyssa Edwards' dynasty, the Muse family chain, and a few links you probably missed the first time. Stick around because the last connection flips how you watch their whole run. When we say related, we mean drag family. Queens who raised, mentored, and named each other. Drag mothers, daughters, and sisters share skills, gigs, and legacy, sometimes without viewers realizing it. Bob the drag queen and Miz Cracker. If you only know them from TV, this connection feels impossible. Bob the drag queen is the loud, fearless comedian who bulldozed season 8 and walked out with the crown. Miz Cracker shows up later with a totally different energy. Neurotic, polished, super wordy, and obsessed with doing things the right way. So how are they related? New York City. Before the workroom, Miz Cracker was coming up in the same scene where Bob was already a force. Bob took Miz Cracker in as drag family, guidance, gigs, feedback, and that kind of tough love mentorship that can make or break a baby queen. And here's why viewers get shocked. Nothing about their on-screen brand screams same family tree. But look closer and you can clock it. The comedy brain, the ability to turn panic into punchlines, the instinct to narrate the moment instead of just surviving it. The stakes were real too. Once fans learned the connection, Miz Cracker didn't just have to be good. She had to prove she wasn't living in Bob's shadow. And Bob? Suddenly, every Miz Cracker moment became a referendum on Bob's influence. By the time Miz Cracker hit Drag Race and later returned for All Stars, the Drag Daughter label followed her everywhere until she made it her own. And that idea, one queen shaping an entire generation, takes us straight to the biggest dynasty of them all. House of Edwards. If drag families had a royal house, the House of Edwards would be one of the loudest and most influential. Alyssa Edwards isn't just a TV personality. In the real-world Texas pageant and club circuit, she's a mentor who builds performers, and a surprising number of RuPaul's Drag Race queens trace back to her orbit. The House of Edwards connection includes Shangela, Laganja Estranja, Gia Gunn, Vivienne Pinay, and Plastique Tiara. Fans even joke this house runs on stunts and shenanigans, but the discipline underneath is very real. Plastique is often described as Alyssa's drag daughter, and season 11 even showed Alyssa popping in to coach her like a dance mom, polishing her walk and performance confidence. That's the shock for viewers. These queens don't look related on screen. Shangela is pure charisma and chaos. Laganja is dance and nerves. Gia is fashion and attitude. Vivienne is glam with a totally different flavor. Plastique is ultra-polished and modern. But the common thread is training. You can feel the Edwards fingerprint in how they sell a character, hit a beat, and command a stage when it counts. And once you know the connection, every runway and lip sync suddenly starts to read like family business, which makes our next reveal even harder to believe. House of Aja. Here's one that blindsides even hardcore fans because the aesthetics don't match. Aja hit Drag Race as a ballroom-rooted fashion girl with a sharp mouth and a sharper drop. Off the show, she wasn't just building a brand, she was building a house. Both Candy Muse and Dahlia Sin have publicly called Aja their drag mother, meaning she helped shape them in the New York scene before the workroom. In drag terms, that's name, gigs, notes, and tough love. Candy's big, loud, say it with your chest energy feels miles away from Aja's cool, cutting swagger. Dahlia's high glam, living doll vibe looks like a different universe. When Dahlia was first eliminated on season 12, a lot of viewers only then learned she came from Aja's house. That's the shock. 3 distinct TV characters, 1 family tree. That pressure is brutal. If you're an Aja kid, fans expect fashion, attitude, and zero fear always. And it wasn't always cute. Candy has talked about a fallout with Aja and later finding a way back to peace, so this bond has real history. Quick pause. If this is already melting your brain, hit like and subscribe, because the next connection is even wilder. Aquaria and Sharon Needles. Aquaria's Sharon Needles connection is the one that comes with a big asterisk. Early profiles around season 10 described Sharon as Aquaria's drag mother, while Aquaria later framed it more as mentorship than an official mom title. That's why viewers are stunned. Aquaria's fashion-forward polish doesn't scream horror winner lineage, and the show rarely spells it out unless you already know the club gossip from before the cameras rolled. Either way, the influence is real. Sharon was an early door opener in the New York scene, and Aquaria learned fast by being around working queens and watching how they built a character. It's mentorship that can fast-track you, plus a label that follows you onto TV. And yes, Sharon is not exactly controversy-free. Needles has faced criticism over racist slurs and Nazi-related imagery, and later reporting covered allegations of abuse from a former underage fan. Aquaria publicly distanced herself. That's why this family link hits different. Sometimes you inherit the mentorship and the mess. Candy Muse and Tsunami Muse. This one is hiding in plain sight because the clue is literally the last name. Candy Muse is the unapologetic New York firecracker from season 13 in All Stars. Loud, funny, and never afraid to take up space. Then season 16 arrives, and here comes Tsunami Muse. Sleek, polished, and instantly clockable as a queen who knows how to work a room. The shock for viewers is realizing it isn't a coincidence or a cute tribute. Tsunami is Candy's drag daughter. That means real mentorship. Sharing gigs, giving notes, building confidence, and teaching the unglamorous survival skills you don't see on TV. And it flips how you read both of them. Candy is famously outspoken, but in drag mom mode, she's protective and strategic. Tsunami, meanwhile, carries the Muse name like a promise. You're expected to be ready from day one, quick on your feet, and fearless when the room turns on you. It's also a reminder that drag families don't just go upward, they spread forward. One queen becomes a blueprint and then passes the tools to the next. There's another relationship people miss for years, even when the names match. Coco Montrese and Kahanna Montrese. This is the kind of relationship viewers miss for years because it feels too obvious. So people assume it's fake. Coco Montrese is a Drag Race original, high-energy performance, old-school Vegas professionalism, and the kind of stage presence that reads working queen in the first 5 seconds. Kahanna Montrese shows up later with a totally different first impression. More modern glam, more body, more runway polish. But that shared last name isn't random. Kahanna is Coco's drag daughter. And in drag family terms, that's not just a cute title. It means Coco helped shape her. How to perform, how to handle crowds, how to survive nights where the tips are bad, but the expectations are high. The shock is that their TV edits don't scream mother and daughter. Coco's brand is loud, seasoned, and battle-tested. Kahanna's vibe can read younger, sleeker, and more fashion-forward. Once you clock the connection, though, you start noticing the overlap. Performance confidence, stage awareness, and that I came here to work intensity. And when a drag name becomes a legacy, the pressure isn't subtle, it's immediate. Sasha Colby and Carrie Colby. Sasha Colby is one of those names that carries weight in drag long before TV. She's a pageant legend, a longtime performer, and the kind of queen other queens call mother with their whole chest. So, when viewers meet Carrie Colby on season 14, a lot of people assume Colby is just a glamorous stage name. Carrie feels like her own brand, soft but sharp, runway ready, and emotionally open in a way that makes you root for her fast. Then, the reveal clicks. Carrie is Sasha's drag daughter. That one detail rewires how you watch both of them, because it's not just a family nickname, it's lineage. It's Sasha teaching stage standards, polishing confidence, and passing down a legacy that's bigger than a single season. And it's also why the connection is so shocking. Sasha and Carrie can read like 2 different generations of drag on screen. But once you know, you start spotting the shared poise, the control, and the I belong here energy. Keep that hidden in plain sight feeling, because the next connection is even easier to miss. Simone and Gigi Goode. This one shocks viewers because it's not a neat mother and daughter story. It's more like a creative squad that quietly shaped modern drag race aesthetics. The House of Avalon started as a real-life collective. Friends making looks, videos, characters, and performance ideas together. So when Gigi Goode hit season 12 with that ultra-curated fashion meets comedy presentation, some fans later realized she wasn't doing it alone. Then Simone arrives on season 13 with a completely different vibe, high fashion attitude, confidence for days, and cultural references that land like punchlines. On TV, she looks like a singular superstar. But she's also been closely connected to the House of Avalon, working in that same creative ecosystem. That's why it's a, wait, they're related? Moment. Because the connection isn't a shared last name. It's shared taste, shared tools, and a behind-the-scenes support system that helps queens level up faster than the audience realizes. Once you know about the collective, you start reading certain runways differently. like you're watching the signature of a whole team, not just one person. Once you start spotting these connections, Drag Race stops feeling like random queens and starts looking like a web. Mentors create daughters, houses create styles. Even a shared last name can be both a warning label and a promise. So when a queen walks in, fully formed, remember, someone helped build that confidence. If you want more Drag Race deep dives, hit like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, always.